No, she can't call.
Let's get my bearings here. Good morning and welcome to the City of Chester Council meeting for Wednesday, March 26, 2025. As always, we start with a prayer invocation followed by the pledge. This morning, providing us with the invocation is Miss Neonu Span from Friends Meeting House right here in Chester. We'll rise.
To those called to serve as speakers, listeners, leaders, and followers, join me in prayer. Spirit of a living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Break me, melt me, mold me, fill me, break us, melt us, mold us, and fill us. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on us. Amen. Ashe.
Amen.
Wow. Thank you so much for that invocation. That was different. I want to thank Lisa Dennis, the head of our police chaplains, for each council meeting, finding, selecting, presenting a person of a different person every time to give that invocation. I think we've had probably not every, but many faiths present, Catholic, Rabbi, Baptist, across the entire board, and I'm sure she's got more in her bag to come. I'll just speak to you directly. I had the opportunity to go to a friend's school, and growing up in a Baptist church, it was such a different spiritual experience, and you just reminded me how the Friends are very quiet and very introspective, and there were some services that were just quiet, not a thing said. So you really took me back there. Wow. Roll call, please.
Councilors Green,
Present.
West,
Present.
Davis,
Present.
Mayor Roots.
Present. And we do have an excused absence from our council lady, Gibson. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from March 12th?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That does it. That motion passed. Thank you. Public comment, agenda items only. Is there anyone? If so, step to the mic. Doesn't seem to be anyone, so let's move on. Where do we go from here? Oh, here's our time to shine. Old business, new business, anything, council?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. So this past weekend, I had the opportunity to speak on the gun violence prevention panel over at the Keystone First Wellness building. And as I was over there, I got to hear about some of the wonderful things they're doing in that building, some of the wonderful things they offer free to our community. And I just want to encourage everyone and to speak on behalf of that organization and that infrastructure they have over there. They're doing some wonderful things in Chester. They're encouraging our community to be more involved. They have free resources for anyone who's looking to do different things in our community. It's not just for, health and wellness. It's for, different connections to community policies, community resources, excuse me. And that's something that I just wanted to speak on today because I was really excited to hear about a lot of the positive things that they have going on at the Keystone Wellness Center. And I just wanted to make that announcement, as well as give a major shout out to Chester Biddy basketball that happened on Saturday, and our young people doing a lot of amazing things through the sports of basketball. Our young men in our community coaching our young men, just to see them doing positive things on the court and off the court is amazing. So I got the opportunity to, attend Chester Biddy on Saturday, and I want to give them a major shout out as well.
And I'll just piggyback off of Councilman Davis. I was at both events with Councilman Davis, and it was great. It was great to see Chester Biddy, too, and all the young people playing. And the game was really good. I think one of the games, the champion, they won by like 1 point. That was your team? Okay. It was a great team. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Chester High School, their economics and government class. Myself and the mayor, we did attend. They had a whole presentation set up. And to see the ideas of these young people and what a future Chester looks like, it was just absolutely amazing. And that's why I'm so adamant about trying to get young people at the table, because they have some really, really bright ideas. And I'm sure the mayor will probably talk about it too. But I mean, the whole presentation, and it was all surrounded around the Black Wall Street and how we can get, build downtown up as like the Black Wall Street and get more investors and get more businesses. And I mean, it was just a really, really great experience. And so I just want to give a big shout out to Chester Upland School District and Chester High School economics and government class.
No, I don't have anything. I just want to thank everybody for your love and support of me during the loss of my brother. So I've been dealing with that. But thank you, community, for your love and support.
Thank you all. And you really put me on the spot here because I had absolutely forgot about that event at the high school. But what he said. I guess in our days that would have been the social studies class, but it's very similar. But they did this amazing project that focused on Black Wall Street, where they had 4 separate exhibits, and one of the exhibits was a letter to the mayor. So I don't know how many letters were done, but they were really all well-crafted. They have a great understanding of what Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street was all about, and all of them charged me with making some moves to make it happen here in Chester. So I promised the students that I would respond to their letters. Really unique event, though. I'm used to going to science fairs and stuff like that, but this was a different type of experience, and I hope it continues. What else do I have here? I attended the 100th birthday celebration for Miss Florence Thompson this past weekend. How amazing. I see we have another 100-year-old coming up. We have a lot of 100-plus-year-old women in this town. I don't know what y'all doing, but it's really amazing, and it's really great to see these women in good shape. I mean, they're walking, they're dancing, they're talking, and we love representing on behalf of everybody in the city to celebrate them with citations and our presence at those events. And this past weekend, once again, celebrity boxing came to Chester at Harrah's. 1,000 people were in attendance at that event, and it's not a cheap event. General admission tickets were $70, ringside was $200, so people paid a lot of money to come out and see some great entertainment. It went for about 3.5 hours. There was some good boxing, some great rappers, because every boxer comes out, you know, behind some rapper. So there was entertainment, there was boxing, there were a lot of people from Philly, Delaware, Jersey. Norristown was represented in a big way, saw some Chester faces in the crowd. It's really great when businesses commit to Chester, and they have committed to doing all their events here in Chester. They go around the world and do this celebrity boxing, but Chester's a regular stop. I think the next one is June 22nd?
Possibly. There's also the
14?
wrestling event coming up. The wrestling event.
Yeah, I got this here, but we're not going to talk about that yet.
Okay.
So that's what went on in the past week in my life. Probably more, but let's get on to business. Madam Clerk, we have ordinances and a few resolutions.
Bill number 1, first reading was on March 12, 2025. Ordinance number 1 of 2025, an ordinance of the City of Chester, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, enacting new Article 519 entitled Impounding Parked or Junk Vehicles of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Chester to provide for a convenient and regulated towing system for the timely removal of motor vehicles damaged, abandoned, immobilized, illegally parked, or disabled on public rights-of-way or on public or private property within the City of Chester, and repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances inconsistent therewith.
I move that we pass Bill number 1 on its last and final reading.
I second that we pass Bill number 1 on its last and final reading.
Any questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, whereas the following individuals have requested a handicap parking zone. Number 1, Cynthia Smith, 2925 West 9th Street, Chester, PA, 19013. Number 2, Stephanie Davis, 2607 West 7th Street, Chester, PA, 19013. Number 3, Robin Hill, 1017 Booth Street, Chester, PA, 19013. Number 4, Sherry Boast, 1019 Elsnore Place, Chester, PA, 19013. Number 5, Cheryl Ferguson, 1222 Keystone Road, Chester, PA, 19013. Number 6, Rebecca Young, 100 West 22nd Street, Chester, PA, 19013. And number 7, Lynn Cotman, 725 Upland Street, Chester, PA, 19013. Whereas, after a thorough investigation by the Department of Public Works, it has been determined the aforementioned individuals have met all of the required criteria and have a need for said handicap parking zone. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the proper city officials to install a handicap parking zone in the 2900 block of West 9th Street, in the 2600 block of West 7th Street, in the 1000 block of Booth Street, in the 1000 block of Elsnore Place, in the 1200 block of Keystone Road, in the 100 block of West 22nd Street, and in the 700 block of Upland Street in the City of Chester.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
The following resolution that I'm going to read is going to combine resolutions numbers 36 through 39. The language is all the same, but it's different streets in there. So instead of reading different resolutions saying the same, I'm just going to combine them all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Resolution number 36 of 2025, which will also cover through 39 of 2025. The Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby grant permission and authorize the issuance of a road opening permit to PECO for the installation of new natural gas services within the city of Chester at the following locations. Number 1, Honan Street between Bethel Road and North Forward Street. 2, North Forward Street from Honan Street to Perkins Street. 3, South Forward Street just east of Colhane Street. 4, Perkins Street between North Forward Street and Lehman Street. And 5, Lehman Street between Perkins Street and Honan Street. Then we have Johnson Street between Morton Avenue and Remington Street. Brown Street between Johnson Street and Terrell Street. And White Street between Johnson Street and Terrell Street. Next will be Sproul Street on both sides of 8th Street between 9th Street and 7th Street. East 8th Street between Sproul Street and Welsh Street. West 8th Street west of Sproul Street. And then Welsh Street between 8th Street and 9th Street. Lastly, the streets will be Sproul Street between East 7th Street and Edgemont. West 6th Street between Sproul Street and Avenue of the States. East 6th Street from Avenue of the States to the east. Edgemont Avenue between Avenue of the States and West 5th Street. West 5th Street from Edgemont Avenue to Avenue of the States. East 5th Street from Avenue of the States to the east. Avenue of the States from East 7th Street to East 4th Street, and City Hall Place from West 5th Street south. Further, said permit is contingent upon PECO's compliance with all the conditions outlined by the city engineer and performed in a manner that is satisfactory to City Council, specifically the following. Number 1, PECO performs a half mill and overlay on all road openings exceeding 100 feet or 3 patches within 100 feet. 2, all work that impacts sidewalks within cities' right-of-ways shall be replaced with new concrete sidewalks and ADA accessible curb ramps where required by the city engineer. Number 3, PECO provides appropriate traffic control measures to ensure continual operation of city streets. And number 4, PECO will need to obtain a highway occupancy permit, known as HOP, from PennDOT and any other required permits.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, any comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that the officials of the City of Chester, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, in regular session assembled on the 26th day of March, 2025, do hereby make application of county liquid fuel tax funds in the amount of $40,194 to be used for the 2025 street resurfacing program. Further, that all materials used and work done hereunder shall conform to the current Pennsylvania Department of Transportation specifications or specifications approved by the department, and all work will be done with the legal right-of-way.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Yes, I just have a quick comment. In regards to resolution number 40 and 41, as it does say county liquid fuels, the city of Chester also has a liquid fuels account, but this is coming specifically from Delaware County to help fix some of our roads, as it say, repaving. And one of the questions that I did ask was about some specific roads, as well as the time frame that some of this work will be getting done. And as that information comes out, we will make sure that we communicate that to you all, the public, so that way any road closures or any inconveniences that you might have on your day-to-day traffic can be addressed and communicated to you in a proper manner because that is something that has been lacking in our community for far too long. So going forward, Mayor and Council, we have agreed to communicate to the public when these roads will be fixed so that you all know what's going on, as well as where the money is coming from. So if it was coming from the City of Chester's liquid fuel fund, that would have been communicated. But I wanted to clarify that this is coming from specifically Delaware County, which is helpful to us as a city when it comes to our finances.
I believe Delaware County has always participated in this. This is something that we've been doing, you know, for a very long time, getting assistance from the county and what has been allotted to the city.
Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that the officials of the City of Chester, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, in regular session assembled on the 26th day of March 2025, do hereby make application of county liquid fuel tax funds in the amount of $43,308 to be used for the 2024 street resurfacing program. Further, that all materials used and work done hereunder shall conform to the current Pennsylvania Department of Transportation specifications or specifications approved by the department, and all work will be done within the legal right-of-way.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, whereas James N. Harper Sr., known as Jim, will forever be remembered as a Chester native son, decorated Vietnam War veteran, and former business manager for Laborers International Union of North America, Local 413, that made a noteworthy impact on many lives. And whereas after attending Chester Upland School District in June of 1960, Jim first joined Local 413, working there during the summer months, and upon graduating from Upper Darby High School, he used the money he earned from Local 413 to attend West Virginia State College. And whereas in 1965, Jim went on to attend Penn State University Graduate School, where he served as a graduate research assistant to several professors, and after he served in the Vietnam War, where he earned several merits, honors, and decorations, and rejoined Local 413 in 1974. And in May 1977, he was elected the business manager for Local 413, carving a pathway for those re-entering society to rebuild and reinvest into the very communities where they once lost their way, creating jobs and educational opportunities for those seemingly forgotten and cast out. And whereas Jim realized one of the most effective ways to fight poverty, community violence, and hopelessness in minority neighborhoods was to empower families through economic and educational investment. He launched the Chester Diversity Apprenticeship Program, otherwise known as DAP, now known as the Jim Harper Diversity Apprenticeship Program for youth 18 through 24 years of age, as a school to career pipeline, helping young people gain entrance to the Philadelphia and/or Delaware County building and construction trades. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the installation of an honorary street sign renaming a portion of Penn Street at West 3rd Street to James N. Harper Sr. Way, honoring his contributions to our country, community, and the Laborers International Union of North America, Local 413. Further, it does authorize the Department of Public Works to order and install the aforementioned sign.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Well, thank you for that. My comment would be well-deserved. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that in accordance with recommendations of the Chester City Planning Commission dated February 12, 2025, and reviewed by the Delaware County Planning Commission on March 20th, 2025, does hereby grant final approval for the Alliance 436 Highland LLC to construct a one-story, 9,600 square feet tractor-trailer and/or bus repair building, 2 parking lots, and fencing around the Stage 2 lot perimeter at 436 Holland Avenue, Chester, PA, 19013, as shown on a plan titled Revision to Preliminary and/or Final Subdivision and Land Development Plans for 4th and Booth Distribution Center Stage 2, prepared by Lynn Architects, 1140 North Providence Road, Media, PA, 19063, dated January 15th, 2024. Further, said approval is conditioned upon addressing the remaining comments of the Planning and Zoning Department review letter dated January 31st, 2025, and the Colliers Engineering and Design review letter dated February 6, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Just for clarity's sake, for those of you who know the corner of 4th and Booth, the new warehouse has been built there. There's a big parking lot. What they're looking to do is just build a garage, a repair garage for buses that will go on that site. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the proper city official to enter into an agreement with Dre Shaw Entertainment Group to provide an artist to perform at the City of Chester Peace, Love, and Unity Festival in an amount not to exceed $20,000. Further, the contract is subject to the solicitor's approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I do. So let's be clear what we're voting on, because we did table this resolution at our last council meeting. Councilman Green is planning an event right outside, which will be staged right at the front door of City Hall, and correct me if I'm wrong, with entertainment, vendors, and the like. To his credit, he's going to raise funds for the event. What we're voting on today has nothing to do with any of that. It has all to do with the headline performer. So what we're voting on today is whether or not council is in approval of an amount not to exceed $20,000 for a performer for that event. Some have questioned whether $20,000 is an appropriate amount for a single entertainer that's only going to be working for an hour. That's $20,000 an hour. I don't know how that matches up to your salary, or whether this money should be spread around the community to local performers. All that being said, the city is in support of and has traditionally done summer-type activities like the 4th of July event, and there's been other events staged out here, most recently the Delco Gives, which was a huge success. So here we are. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
No.
Mr. Solicitor, I'm waiting on you.
Mr. Solicitor, you're going to explain how we're going to read this next resolution.
So, the next resolution, there's a motion to amend,
Into the mic, please.
there is a motion to amend the resolution to incorporate the entire resolution without the necessity of reading the entire resolution. And that motion to amend specifically references the fact that the city clerk will introduce the caption of the resolution and read paragraph 2 of the resolution as if the entire resolution were read.
Thanks.
All right. Resolution resolved that Santander Bank N.A., known as the Bank, be, and hereby is, has designated a depository for the funds of the city subject to the terms and conditions of the business deposit account agreement for 2 accounts, with authority to accept at any time for the credit of the city's deposits in checking, saving, money market savings, term, or any other account by whomsoever made in whatever manner endorsed.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes. Oh, go back to the beginning. Where are we at now? All right, we're up to the reports section here. We see listed interim police commissioner, but before you make your report, chief, any directors have anything to report from your departments? Oh, here he comes. Our chief financial officer, Richard Troutman. He doesn't have notes and he's running. Stop.
Just a quick reminder for the public that the discount period for tax payments ends on Monday.
Okay, let's explain why he got up there to say that. The tax bills that went out said the discount period ends on March 30th. It should have said March 31st. And that's Monday. So you have until Monday to save the 2%. Thank you. 2%.
But there are some people who are having concerns with making their payments for 2025. Say, for example, I know of a situation where 2022 and 2023 and 2024 taxes, is that right, Chief? You know the situation I'm talking about with Anthony Moore, you know, where taxes were paid, okay, but then when they came in to pay the taxes for 2025, I don't think that our system is talking to the collection system. So some people, I know of only one situation, but I bet there are others who are having trouble paying for 2025, and the discount period is over by next week. So what happens, you know, and then you need someone to coordinate our system with the other collection system. So what happens is if that doesn't get straightened up? Those persons who came in and wanted to pay their taxes, you know, so they'll be on time for 2025, okay, and they can't because our systems are not talking to each other.
They were unable to pay the 2025 current year taxes online. They were able to pay it in person, but not online. So we have a meeting set up with eCollect, and that's one of the things that we'll discuss with them. So
But-
we'll address those on a case-by-case basis if that
Right,
comes
in
up.
this case, the person is out of town, so the
Correct.
convenience of being able to pay online, is out the window.
Yeah, if it wouldn't accept the 2025 real estate tax collection unless the previous delinquencies were paid, and those were paid, but it wasn't reflected in the database. So that's,
Right.
there's a current year database, and then there's the delinquent database. So we need to make sure that those two are interfaced. So we'll address those on a
So
case.
what happens if they, if we don't get this straightened out before the discount period is over? What happens?
If there are any other cases like that, and somebody showed the willingness to pay it by the delinquency or by the 2% discount rate day, which is next Monday, we'll address that on an individual basis. I don't know of any other cases in which anybody's come to the window or tried to pay online and they haven't been able
But
to.
just in case there is, you never know.
We're not going to penalize somebody if they tried to make the payment, but they couldn't make the payment online. We'll address those.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for bringing that up. I wasn't aware. Oh, Commissioner Katrina Blackwell has a very special report to share with us that involves our officers. Hey, you guys, turn around and face.
Yeah, you guys turn this way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to see you.
Spotlight. They can stand alone. Good morning, Mayor, City Council, and everybody under the sound of my voice.
Morning.
Beginning in November 2024, the Chester Narcotics Unit's officers, Garin and Benezich, in collaboration with multi-jurisdictional agencies, including the Delaware County Drug Task Force, Pennsylvania State Police, Delaware State Police, Drug Enforcement Administration, and the FBI, initiated Operation Sparkplug, an extensive drug investigation targeting Shamar Campbell, a resident of Upland, Pennsylvania. Campbell primarily operates in his hometown of Chester, where he is involved in the distribution of illegal drugs. As a result of Operation Sparkplug, officers Benedict and Garin successfully arrested 6 individuals. To date, law enforcement has seized a significant quantity of assets, including 6 luxury vehicles, 6 handguns, $121,000 in cash, approximately 8,469 grams of cocaine, 3 Rolex watches, and 3 kilo presses. These investigations are crucial in removing both high-level and street-level drug dealers from our communities, ultimately making Chester and its neighboring areas safer places to live. Moreover, such operations has proven instrumental in resolving other violent crimes, including murders, shootings, robberies, and other offenses within Chester. So, as we all stand here so proud of you gentlemen, I thought, we have to make sure that you're recognized, because it was a great job, successful. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the sacrifice, the time. He was, the time. That's his wife, the time. And I just want everybody to give you a round of applause and a standing ovation. You don't get off that easy. You got to say something. Both of you. Yes, yes.
You got to get to the mic. Get to the mic, please. Just stand in.
Right
Can't do
there.
it.
To the mic, too?
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Put it close to your mouth. It's a weak mic.
That's why I'm a weak speaker. Just want to say thank you to the administration to trust him and us, being supervised by Goldschmidt, allowing us to do these opportunities. I know it's a lot of work and taking us away from a lot of normal duties around town, but I appreciate you taking the risk with us doing them. The sacrifice, we'd like to thank our families for sacrificing us for all those days that we were gone. So thank you, and I hope we're making a difference for the city for you.
Yes, you are.
I'm just going to take a page out of the mayor's book and say what he said. So.
photo time. Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Yeah, stand.
Okay, here we go. Okay, one more.
Oh, I want to share a little bit about this operation. This is another one of those occasions where I knew about it. This actually began back with Commissioner Gretzky was on board. It was an effort by the county DA's office. You know, many of us have watched The Wire in Baltimore City, you know, a TV show on HBO that was based in Baltimore. This was the Chester's Wire. It was a multi-month investigation. The two officers that you saw recognized today were a part of the county's effort, as well as other law enforcement agencies. We really just gave them up to work this operation. It was multi-month, multi-jurisdiction, multi-law enforcement, very hush-hush. As it was coming close to a close, I would get those phone calls, we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there. I don't know if you saw the newspaper article, it was a front page story in the Delaware County Daily Times. It was a lot, they got a lot, they collected a lot, they got a lot of cocaine off the streets. One thing I really hate when I open the Daily Times and I see these drug busts and you see the drugs and you see the guns and then you see $25. Not this time. This time they brought in some cash, took some bad guys off the street. Some of them are, you know, Chester related. It also extended to other municipalities. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I know the sacrifice was unimaginable. I can't imagine what you guys go through when you're on missions like this. So thank you. Thank you to the families who allow your husbands and loved ones to do this type of work. It's super important. We're very impressed by the results. Thank you. Oh, we have a presentation today. We have two presentations today. The first one, Amani Reed, Eastern Regional Coordinator, Department of Environmental Protection, Office of Environmental Justice. Is she here? I did not see her. I did see her last week at the Access Center, though. Okay, so we have a second presentation. We always have one in the cut. It's not listed here, but it's the Chester Education Foundation. You have a presentation?
Free Ascent Coalition.
Oh, well, come on up and tell us what it is. Safer Schools, Stronger Neighborhoods Coalition. Okay,
Absolutely.
I got it now.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Mayor, Council, fellow residents. Thank you for taking the time. I am here to talk about our Safer Schools, Stronger Neighborhoods Coalition that is operating in the city. Thank you for the time. We appreciate being able to present here. And I have with me all of the organizations involved in our efforts.
I got it now. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor. And we also want to acknowledge Council. We thank you for your participation in our efforts. Thank you, Councilman Davis, who has invited us here today so that we might be able to make a presentation. I'd like to introduce everyone before we go into what our organization is about. So I will do it alphabetically because these organizations have a strong reputation here in the city of Chester, and they have been working for a long time. So we began with the Boys and Girls Club of Chester, and if representatives from that would just stand and be acknowledged. And next, we have our Chester Community Coalition. If those members would please stand and be acknowledged. We have Chester Education Foundation. And we have Making a Change Group, which everyone knows is boots on the ground here in the city. So if those members would stand and be recognized, please. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the lead agency, which is CASA Youth Incorporated out of Media. We serve as the pass-through agency for the grant funds that allow us to operate this grant. So you see up on the board who the members are, and we also want you to know that we have brought to the table Safe Corridors Incorporated. They are going to help us with our reentry issues that we have identified through our collaborative. We have stakeholders. The entire purpose of 3SN is to reduce community and gun violence here in the city of Chester. We received a grant from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. We received it 2 years ago, but our first year was planning and implementing the work here in the city. There's much to continue. Hopefully, we will continue under the grant auspices to March of 2026. But I want everyone in the city to know we are looking for partners to come to the table with us and help us with this very, very important work. As you see, some of our stakeholders have been the Delaware County District Attorney's Office through their Chester Safe Neighborhoods Partnership. We have Safe Corridors. We have the Delaware Public Defender's Office of Social Services, Chester Upland School District, Chester Police Chaplains, Crozier Health System, Widener University, and of course our own Chester Police Department. We are looking to partner with other nonprofits in the city. We do training. We're making ourselves available to young people, particularly those at risk from 11 to 24 years of age. We ask that we're setting up a continuum of care, which is to connect them with resources and services that will help them stay on a stronger, straighter path in the city of Chester. So we solicit the support of everyone in the community. We have several programs going on. We have websites that are up that you might be able to see what kind of events we have coming up. We have a Friends and Family Summit coming up on April 5th at STEM. It will be the second one in the last year where families and young people can come to the STEM site and avail themselves of information, of services, workshops, helping everyone understand what resources are available, all with the intention of reducing gun and community violence here in the city of Chester. I will give our EDs of each organization an opportunity to tell you what their programs are if you would like to. If not, because they may be a little gun shy about getting up and
really
absolutely, yes, what a pun, right? About talking about what we do, but we do want you to know that this is an active and involved organization, a collaboration, which is the idea that we want to work together, and if we work together we can have a greater impact on everything that happens here in the city. We're especially appreciative of Councilman Davis, who has given us that insight into a younger generation, a mindset that we might be able to reach those that we're trying to reach. So we just ask that you come to us, that you let us know how you would like to be involved, and we welcome involvement from everyone who chooses to be involved. So today I thank you for giving us this time that we might be able to inform the public about our work, and we are available at any time to answer any questions, and we welcome you to our table. Thank you.
She walked away like she doesn't want to take any questions, but do we have any questions? Any questions on the program?
I'm sorry,
No.
Mayor, I will take them if anyone has any.
I'll just make the comment that, number one, it was an excellent presentation. Number two, I feel like a complete idiot standing up here not knowing who was going to do the presentation. But when I looked around the room, I saw these organizations. I know Making a Change in Chester, coalition, community coalition. I know the Boys and Girls Club. I know Chester Education Foundation. It's like, why are they here? So the fact that they're all working together for the same purpose of reducing gun violence is really special, that we have, you know, an umbrella organization led by somebody who has represented the city well as a police officer, chief of staff, and police chief of staff here at City Hall. Thank you for your continued involvement, even after retirement in the community. You're amazing. Just thank you for that. And thank you, Councilman Davis. I was at the meeting, he and I were at the meeting together when everybody was putting in input, and I just remember his input was totally focused on how to better direct these services to young people. And I remember your comment after it was over, like your mind was almost blown. Like, you know, us old people sometimes just don't have the insight, don't have the intel, don't have the wherewithal to consider, you know, young folks just like this leader over here and their input. So for, you know, for that to happen and continue to happen is really great. We have to involve all generations. You know, old people can't be solving these problems, issues, situations that young people are going with. The closer you are to that age group, the better you're going to get, you know, results. So thank you, Councilman Davis. Thank you for the organization. Thank you, partners, for working together, because that's not easy. You all struggle, you know, to keep your own organizations alive and well and functional. And it takes this type of a coalition, you know, in a small town like ours. Each of you have unique talents. You have your own programs. You have your own struggles trying to fund your programs. But when we can bring it all together, Boys and Girls Club, Making a Change Group, particularly the G-Vine version, a portion of Making a Change Group, the coalition, and the Boys and Girls Club, no better partners to get this work done. So continued success. Hope the funding continues and that we can continue to do this.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council, and thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you for all the hard work that all of these organizations do. They're all really important in the city of Chester, and it really makes a difference, the work that all of you guys do here in the city, so thank you. And also thank you to the police officers and all the work that you guys have done and continue to do. And it really takes a collaborative effort of all these organizations, all these different people, and all these different puzzles, pieces of the puzzle to work together to make Chester better. And so I really, really want to thank all of you guys. And I want to give a shout out to Andrew Heyman and the Public Works Department. All of you guys can agree that dumping in Chester is an issue. And as we walk throughout the city, as we drive throughout the city, we see a number of dump sites and a number of trash throughout the city. And so mayor and council and the city workers, we're committed to cleaning up the city of Chester. And so the Public Works Department, they identified a dump site last week. And, you know, went through the dump site, found an address in there in Upper Chichester. And so that lets you know that people are coming from outside of the city dumping in Chester. And so myself, the director of the Public Works Department, and one of our inspectors, we went to that house in Upper Chichester and we knocked on that door. And we are serious about holding people accountable who think they can come in the city of Chester and dump on our city. We will not allow it. And so that's one of the things that me and Andrew, we said, listen, if we got to get in trouble every week going out to these different areas and knocking on doors, that's exactly what we're going to do. And so to the residents out there, if you see a dump site, please report it to the city of Chester so that way we can go out and we can investigate and we can try to get some information, because a lot of these dumpers are really dumb, for real, for real. And they leave their addresses, they leave mail, they leave all kinds of stuff, and we're able to identify them. So please, if you guys identify a dump site, please let the city of Chester know so that way we can do our part in trying to clean up the city. Thank you.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. You know, you've heard the term dumpster diving. We dump site dive. You know, our guys really do comb through to see if we can find some evidence of where it comes from. And like you said, it comes from all over. Occasionally, it's a Chester person dumping somewhere, but more times than not, it's coming from somewhere else. And I will stress again that our Public Works Department picks up more illegal dumping in tonnage than the trash man picks up your trash cans up and down the back alleys throughout the city of Chester. That's insane. Okay, I want to make one announcement. You may have seen a young lady up here taking photos. Let's bring her to the microphone. Yes, that's you, Miss Adrian Irving. She's our newest employee of sorts. She started on Monday. What's the title, Chief? I get all titles wrong.
Communications and content specialist.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
That's
Yes.
it.
So
That's it.
introduce yourself to the city.
Thank you.
Reintroduce yourself to the city.
I will, yes, thank you. I'm so thrilled to be here. I was born and raised here in the city of Chester. I worked here as communication director for about, I think, 2001 to 2007. Went to DCIU, where I was communications director there, retired, and coming back here is really a dream come true. So I'm really loving this full circle moment, and thank you for welcoming me. I look forward to working with all of you and trying my best to enhance our communication both internally and externally. And my door is always open. If there's anything that I can do, anything I can assist you with, please let me know. And I look forward to getting back involved with the community as well. And thank you. Didn't know I was doing this today. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Adrian, I just want to say welcome to the city of Chester. Well, I'll say welcome back to the city of Chester.
Thank you.
I served on the board of directors for the Delaware County Intermediate Unit, and she was the communications director there. And when I got there, she welcomed me with open arms. So I am welcoming you to the city of Chester with open arms.
Thank you.
And we look forward to what you have to offer here, and hopefully what you'll do to take the city of Chester communication to the next level. I think all of us has recognized that communication is a major issue in the city of Chester. And so with your help, we're going to make it better. And so welcome, and thank you for accepting the position.
Thank you so much again. I appreciate that. Thank you for your vote of confidence in me as well. And thank you for welcoming me with open arms.
Yes.
Well, Adrian, we all know your work,
Thank you.
so welcome back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
I can't let this go without sharing with you guys that it was a really competitive process in selecting our communications person. We had some really good candidates come in. Where Ms. Adrian stands out is in a couple areas. Of course, being familiar with the runnings of City Hall was important. You know, anybody in this position has to be a good writer, planner, cover all the basic stuff. But the one thing that really rose her above the pack is that in her work at DCIU, she was in government relations. And we need as much help as we can making those connections. I constantly say we have to connect to the county, to the state, to the feds. She's got that pedigree, so it's really like having a superpower working with us up here as we go through the issues and situations that we have to go through on a daily basis. It's nice to have a friend that knows Harrisburg, that knows Delaware County, that knows Washington, D.C. That's a hard asset to beat. So thanks again.
She's homegrown.
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 Public comment.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Didn't.
We all made our comments.
Listen, you guys, I didn't say earlier, but if you're here to make public comments, get here on time, fill out the sheet. You guys getting a little lazy on this sheet here. I see names, no addresses, and a few of you didn't put phone numbers or email addresses. So don't let me have to come out there. But many of you are,
They need to, because that way we need to know if they're city residents.
yeah, that part too. I won't say out loud. We're gonna start with Warren Santone.
Hello, how you doing, Mr. Mayor,
Doing
council
well.
members,
Good morning.
citizens of Chester? Good morning. I'm here to, last meeting, we spoke about the RCO and adopting that ordinance. I'm just here to see how's that going, and can we get that passed, and what we can do to basically help. If not, anything?
Yeah, I can give you an update.
Yes, sir.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot here, so to squeeze that in within 2 weeks and make decisions is really not a reasonable request. But what is a reasonable request of you, and I'm going to look over here to your committee, Housing and Community Development, we should have, we should start right there. Schedule a meeting with that committee so we can get the process rolling. So you'll have 3 council persons that are chair and 2 members of that committee present it. That gets the conversation started internally, and that's the process for moving things to the agenda and council. So
Yes, sir. I was also looking at the, all the work PICO was coming in doing as far as the gas works. And to piggyback off of what Philadelphia does, what they do is they connect with city government, and being as though PICO is a huge entity, they subcontract a lot of their work to the building trades, such as us, the laborers and the operating engineers. So if it would be nice to, like I said, we spoke about the RCO, but that connection with PICO in the city of Chester, as well as the building trades, which we have one right over here at 222 Penn Street, Chester, PA. It would be good to have that and build that relationship, because it's a lot of work coming. We got a lot of street projects going on in the future, in which it was in the agenda. So the RCO speaks to a lot of these projects, and it would be nice if we can get some support. So I just wanted to put that out there. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So when you
And
come,
thank you, council member.
when you come before the committee,
Yes, sir.
you said forge a relationship. I don't know if it's the city forging a relationship with the utilities to get you involved.
PICO,
Yeah, the utilities.
PICO coming to you.
I get you.
And then
So you
we
said
having a
Philadelphia
relationship
has
with you, and
something
we
in
all
place.
come together.
So bring
Yes,
what
sir.
Philadelphia has, so we'll have an example of what you would like to see mimic. Hey, Chief, you know how these things work. What would you have to add, if anything?
With respect to PICO?
With
It's
respect
it's
to-
the same
does the city
PICO
get
in
Yeah,
Philadelphia
that's what
that
I'm
would be
trying to
doing the
say.
work in Chester. So
Is there
whatever.
something that the
Yes, sir.
city of Philadelphia does that
Yes, sir.
connects them to you? I mean, I just don't know how this works.
They contact City Hall, correct?
PICO contacts City Hall for the street opening permits. That's correct.
Yes, sir. And those projects, a lot of them are subcontracted out instead of being self-performed.
PICO in this case would be the contractor.
Right.
We just issue the permit so that they could open up a street.
Right.
Who PICO selects as their contractors, who they subcontract with, that's on PICO.
Oh, yes, sir. We know
So-
that. Yes, sir. We talk, the relationship I'm speaking about is PICO, when it comes to subcontracting that work, they connect with you as well as us, people that are highly trained, skilled, and able to do the work the same way as everybody else do. That's all.
No, certainly. And I'm sure you guys have relationships with PICO as well, so,
Yes, sir. It could get better,
yeah.
especially here.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Weren't we in the process at one time at looking at the responsible contractors ordinance, developing one at one time? I think it's, we had it on the
The agenda.
agenda twice.
Yeah, Council Lady, in your absence last time, we did speak about this at length of the history, and we're just going to bring it back up again.
Okay, because I'd like to see the conversation get started.
Thank you, man.
Get started with the committee.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, council members. Thank you, Mayor.
Is it Kayleen?
Yes.
Hi. Kayleen Tompkins.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Morning.
Council, and residents. I'm back before you again because on last Saturday, the Black Hebrew Israelites returned to 9th and Curlin Street. And as I explained last time, they have a megaphone, and that noise level is, it comes all into my house. I can barely hear my TV. So I'm coming before you again to ask your help in what we can do. I contacted the police on, well, I dialed 911 at about, they came at about 11 a.m. I dialed 911 at about 11:30. And I don't know what happened. I kept peeping out the window, but I didn't see the police come. Then I called again at about 1, and nothing happened. So I just need your help. It is a nuisance. So any direction that you can give us or anything you can do would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
We can talk this out right now. We do have a noise ordinance. Does that apply to the amplification of somebody just on the street? They don't get a permit from us. So, Chief, I'm putting you on the spot again. How do we handle this?
We could look at the noise ordinance, but I think that would apply to any type of activity. You just can't have a bullhorn.
It would apply.
Yeah,
Okay.
that should apply, absolutely.
So when we talk about noise, we have to measure the noise. I know our engineers have one of those decibel meters. Maybe we need to get one in the hands of the police department so they can maybe stand across the street, stand a block away, and if it registers higher than what is allowed, very similar to what we did down at Jake's Trees with that mulcher. You know, we found that that thing makes more noise than it should, and the neighbors are concerned. So we might have to buy a decibel meter for you guys. Is that okay? All right, great. So that's what we're going to work towards. Thank you.
So, Mrs. Tompkins has been coming a long time addressing this. It's been months. And I know that we've, looked into it. I think somebody spoke to the group at one time, and they kind of quieted down, maybe didn't come out a couple times, but then they've started back up again, So we definitely we can't have our taxpayers bothered by, unnecessary noise. They come to our neighborhood and they do anything they want.
Dawn Anderson. Dawn Anderson.
Good morning, Mayor, Council.
Good morning.
And residents of Chester. I just want to add to what Kayleen said. I also live on Curlin Street, and it's disturbing. We can't sit on our porch and have a simple conversation, enjoy our, yards because of that. So I also wanted to add, Ms. West, you came out last year about the tow trucks owner. He parks his tow trucks on the streets, and he had wrecked cars sitting on, and you came out with an officer, and they gave him 2 weeks to vacate his vehicles from the street. Well, he's back. He's been back. And he doesn't have the wrecked vehicles, but he parks his tow trucks, and they're like long flatbeds, on the corners, and you can't navigate around them.
That's right there at 10th and Curlin.
Exactly.
And he lives across the street on
He
Curlin
lives,
Street.
yes,
And
yes.
that's
And
locked.
he parks them on either side and sometimes in front of his house. And when he parks in front of his house, he has to park most of his truck on the curb. So that's an issue too for
That's
people
an
that.
issue with the
yes.
curbing and
And he's,
sidewalk.
you can't approach him. He's not a gentleman like any, so.
He's the
that's an
one with
issue.
the bars all over his.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, that's it.
Commissioner,
She's creeping up.
Oh, and I did call the police, and they said to me, that was last year, that unless there are signs up saying he can't park there, it wasn't anything they could do.
oh, well, they're not supposed to be parking their commercial vehicles on the street.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, I don't know what they told you last year. That was incorrect and untrue. I'll get your number and we'll address 10th and Curlin. That's not true. They can't park tow trucks and everything in residential areas. All right?
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ms. Cyrus Dixon, I guess, spoke her mind and left. All right. Bernadette, what's your last name? Oh, Miss Bernadette. she don't need a last name, but you're going to put it on here before you leave.
The reason why I did not put my name on there, or my address, or my phone number, because I got a phone call from somebody in response to the city's block captain. He said he did not work for the city. He was just doing his civic duty. So that's why I'm not putting my name on there. I don't think it's fair. We put our phone numbers and our names on there and somebody else gets them and calls us. Okay, that's number one. Number two.
Well, hold on, let's deal with number one. I'm sure they didn't get it from this list.
He got it, he said he got the phone number and stuff from the paper here.
Miss Bernadette, that would
Yeah,
be me.
I know.
When I
No,
leave-
it was a guy.
Hold
No,
on,
no, no.
hold on.
That paper there goes to my office and it's sealed.
It didn't
Even
come
if somebody,
from this list.
yeah.
Hold-
Oh, okay, because
That's-
even if
that's
somebody
all.
did ask, I would have to
All right.
write that out. But go ahead, Mayor, I'm
pretty sure
sorry.
you heard from the block captain committee. Justin, take it.
Yes, sir. So I believe that your name was on an interest list for the block captain program from a previous meeting. So the person that you heard from is one of our newly appointed block captain committee members who was just following up with the interest list. So that name and number was just for the people who had put their name on the list with their contact information if you're interested.
Okay.
He's not employed by the city, but he is appointed by mayor and council to try to invite people to become block captains and apply. So that's how I got the list.
All right, so that's why I didn't put my name and full
gonna
name
do
and
it from
phone
now
number.
on, though.
Whatever. Anyway, don't start. First of all, I need to know, I'm from 1206 Beverly Lane. I came to you before about the potholes behind me, Perkins Street, where they're much bigger now. I did look up the tamper. You can rent a tamper machine from $200 to $400, whatever. It needs to be done. You got kids out there playing, and it's going to be a mess. It's getting deeper and deeper. That's number one. Number two.
Hold on, let's do one at a time. This is the season that we start filling potholes. I'm sure Andrew over there is jotting down the address,
Okay.
but let him know.
But it's right there as you
Yeah,
come
just
in by
let him know after the
DeMarco's.
meeting. The handsome guy with the beard.
You're
Okay.
there between, because I did speak to you,
Right.
and you're there between Central and Tillman.
No, I'm
No?
1206 Beverly Lane. I'm
Oh,
right off of
Beverly
Holland.
Lane. Okay.
My backyard face is to DeMarco's.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll get.
Okay.
That's
We'll
right.
take care
And
of
I
that.
did report
Right.
that.
All right, my other question is, do we have any animal control? There's a lot of stray cats in our alley. When it's nice outside, I go out and sit in my backyard. The cats come underneath my fence playing pity pat in my yard. I go out front, I have dog poop everywhere. I don't own a cat, I don't own a dog. Somebody needs to come and get these stray dogs and cats. I'm not going to be going out. We clean up our block. We clean up our alley. We're constantly out there cleaning. I'm not going to keep on cleaning up when you got people younger than me who would not come out and clean. Store is number one. You need to get with the store. There's a lot of trash. You're getting a lot of mice. Okay? And it's not fair to the homeowners. These cats and dogs ain't paying my mortgage.
Okay, so your question was, do we have animal control?
That's not-
Where are
yes.
we with animal control? Chief, you're the star today.
I'm gonna look at JC because JC is our unofficial animal control person. Although the city does not presently have animal control, we're looking into working with some partners that we can associate with who will take the animals, because you got to have a place to take them if you had somebody to actually pick them up, and that's the challenge right now: finding places who will pick up and then deliver to their kennel those stray animals. But I know the police department is intimately involved. They get calls all the time about dogs, not probably so much about cats, but certainly about dogs. So that's something that we definitely are looking at further.
Please, JC. You can have a seat, Ms. Bernadette. Thank
I
you.
got one more.
Well, let's do your one more.
Okay. The
You're out of
last
time.
time I was here and talked to you, I asked you about speed bumps on 12th and Beverly.
People are asking us about speed bumps all across the city. But
Well,
go
the
ahead.
reason why is because there's stop signs there. They do not stop.
That happens all across the city.
We're
Go ahead.
afraid of a kid or a senior getting hit, and it's
Everybody's
going to happen
afraid.
very soon.
Everybody's afraid. We
Well-
have speeders all over the place. We can't put speed bumps on every street in the city, and we haven't started a speed bump program because they cost about $2,000 to put speed bumps up. But it is a conversation that we're having, how we're going to handle speed bumps. Again, if you want to get more information, that handsome guy with the beard there, our Public Works Director, Andrew Heyman, he's our speed bump guy. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be happy with what he says because we're not very far into a speed bump process. We haven't budgeted for speed bumps. But yes, people speed all across the city. Dogs poop on everybody's yard. It's a citywide problem. There's litter all over the place. We know these facts. But thank you for bringing it to our attention. Ms. J.C., let's talk about cats.
Good morning. My name is JC. I run the Chester City Help Incident and Resource page. I've been working with a lot of the animal control related issues here in the city for quite a few years now. What I can say when it comes to cats is that we have made a relationship with Forgotten Cats, which is based out of Trainer, and they actually have a grant program that they go by, and we have 2 to 3 wonderful trappers that work throughout the city, and they work what's called TNR, which is called Trap, Neuter, Release. They have a TNR program that they come out and they will sit and they will trap cats and cats and cats and more cats and more cats. But it is said that 10% of the entire county's stray cats come from the city of Chester. So that is a lot of cats. And I think the total was like 14,000 or something like that throughout the county, which means we're looking at about 1,400 throughout the city of Chester. I don't remember the exact numbers. I did an end of the year report that we did have at one of the last council meetings of 2024. But Forgotten Cats does come out, and if you want to give me your name, your phone number, I can pass it on to the trappers. If you see cats that are outside, they will usually have an ear tip on their left ear, which means like a little chunk of their ear is taken off. That means that they've already been fixed and they're not able to reproduce any further. What Forgotten Cats does is they will take the friendly cats and they will try to bring them in and find reputable foster families to take in the nice ones. The feral ones that are a little bit on the spicy side, they have to generally go back into general population, which doesn't really help for the whole kitty poo situation, but it does help control the pest population as well. And of course, as for the animal control related issues when it comes to dogs, at this point, we have been doing as much as we humanly possibly can do as the city to be able to contract with somebody. There is just no open contract that is willing to take our volume, which is why we are in the situation that we're in now. So it's now getting to the point where it's actually a county issue because we have no open intake shelter at all in Delaware County. All of the county's municipalities are outsourced to Chester County. So that is something that we have also been actively working on to be able to possibly come up with a building and a center for an open intake shelter in Delaware County where we can take care of the dog situation as well. But we're working with it, so it's a work in progress still.
That was a lot of information. And Ms. Bernadette, I don't want to dismiss your issues at all, especially when it comes to animal control, because that's every issue you have is an issue across the city. Especially, you meant to come up here and identify issues that are across the city. Yes, that's true. So thank you for that explanation. And we should, and I'm looking at my crew here, we should get updates from you on these type of issues. And I'm looking in the back of the room. Let's make sure we make a space on our website. Let's make sure we make room maybe once a month or every few council meetings for updates to learn that most of the stray cats are coming out of the city of Chester was something I had never heard before. We know the issue with dogs. We just have dogs roaming the streets. We have angry dogs. I think we had to put a couple dogs down 3 or 4 weeks ago, and no police officer wants to shoot a dog. I asked.
And I'm the one that picks them up afterwards.
And she's the one who picks them up afterwards. It's a complex, it really is a complex issue. It's something we should bring more attention to, not only, you know, the fact that it is an issue around the city, but how we're looking to resolve it. It's really complex. But thank you, JC, for years of being the animal lover that you are and helping the city. Years. Mr. Salim always closes us out. Let's go, Mr. Salim. See, they're clapping for you, sir. That's how much they're looking forward to you closing us out.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, my name is Amin Abdul Salim. I live 240 Patterson Street in Chester. I wasn't quite ready to come, but if this is my time, I want to make this time. I'd like to share with you very briefly, inshallah, God's willing. You know, this is a very important day that we stay up on what we are supposed to stay up on. This is one of the aspirations I feel in my heart and comment. I was thinking in terms of slowing my coming so that you can develop your own, more in your own heart. God said he would cause it to happen gradually to strengthen the heart. So you need your time, inshallah, God's will, to strengthen the heart so that we can keep this. We keep this strong heart, strengthen the heart. So I feel almost like Jesus. I hear a lot of comment, and one of the shortest, a lady asked me one time, she said, I mean, what is the shortest sentence in the Bible? So I did not know. I thought a minute, and she said, well, you know, Jesus wept. Jesus wept. 2 sentences, a verb and a alhamdulillah. Yes, ma'am. So, shukran. So God would not allow his servant to, you know, just to endure this hardship, strain on the mind, foolishness, I will almost say, to last long. All this is going to come to simplicity. So this is what I'm waiting for all this to come to, so simplicity. Now, don't get me wrong, I do hear some good statements, excellent statements, but we want them to come more in line with simplicity, sir. Simplicity, inshallah, God's will. We coming from far behind, if you will, sir, if we will, far from behind. Let me say that old folks been saying in the South, and I come up to the South, is that do not try to beat them at their own game, at their own game. So we're not trying to beat them at their own game. Some of them tired of their own game themselves. But we're trying to go to God's message. We're going to beat them. We're going to go out front. We're going to come far from behind. We're going to come behind. I heard a doctor say, with the Dr. Naeem Akbar, he said, look, we come from far back and we're going far forward. So I'm saying with bottom line, sir, is that, you know, we're going to connect with our Lord. And at this day here, what is us connecting with our Lord is cultivating our, you know, people, getting rid of the sensation and coming to good sense, So with that, sir, I'd like to stop at this point, inshallah. It's a new order. And it said the street would be so clean after a while with this that you will be able to eat off it. Sure, excuse me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I don't know what he said, but I will say this. And you're going to make that announcement. What I did fail to mention is that there were a couple executive sessions this week. One of them had to do with the home rehab program, pool management, and another had to do with a particular ordinance that we're considering the status of. So, announce what you just announced, if it's a public announcement.
Apparently you did read my lips.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. At 12:30, there is a petition for intermunicipal transfer of a liquor license, which council must attend as the hearing held.
That's at 12:30, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
I want to comment a little bit on what Mr. Salim said, simplicity, bring things to simplicity. Let me tell you, there's nothing simple going on around here. There's very little. And it's really great when he talked about cultivating our people, cultivating, hiring, moving good people in places where they could be more effective is really the exercise that we participate in a daily basis. And then we have the complications of bankruptcy, of which, you know, there's a whole different team that works on that. We don't participate in that much at all. But this is a complicated time. This is not a simple time for the city of Chester. And I think we're doing a great job moving forward with the day-to-day operations and, you know, the future of Chester through bankruptcy. So simplicity is not that simple, but we're getting to that point where we want to be a smooth operating machine that can, as we say at the end of the day oftentimes, did we do anything except fix problems from the past? I mean, it's a really challenging space if you're here day to day dealing with the myriad of issues that we have to deal with. But it's also very rewarding, and we've got some great minds that all kick in and do the work. So thank you guys against the wall, and directors and supervisors and managers that are sprinkled throughout. I really appreciate the work that you do on a daily basis. It ain't easy, but we make it look easy, I think. Any other final comments from, oh, I do have one final. Just as celebrity boxing has made Chester its home with just about every 2 or 3 months a big event, so does, what do we call it, wrestling, SPO Wrestling. They're coming back again. This is really family-friendly event, so much so that they give away tickets. So they gave us a grip of tickets this time, probably 500 free tickets to attend the April 27th event that is also at Harrah's. If you like wrestling, you want to come see this. If you want to have a good time, you want to come see this. It is hilarious, it's fun, it's very family friendly. Bring the kids. It's something that the kids will enjoy as well. It's really focused for the kids. So they really take those mean acting wrestlers and present it in a PG version. I can say it like that. We're really proud that they're coming back on a regular basis, and they're really wanting to make Chester their home. They're looking for a training facility. I don't know if it's been finalized, but I've directed them to a couple spots. They want to do their training of wrestling right here in the city of Chester. I haven't talked to them lately, but we have tickets, we have a grip of tickets. So I've given them out in the past to these events, and you know, a portion of the people who've received these tickets show up, but each time it's getting more and more exciting, but more people are showing up. So please, if you take a ticket, come. If you can't come, pass the ticket to somebody else. These are typically $35 for the people who are paying. So it's 500 or 600 of these. How many do we have? About 5. It's a lot. It's a lot. So we really thank the guys at SPO Wrestling for making Chester their home as well. It's free entertainment, and we don't have to put up anything. I really love that. Anything from council before we hit the gavel?
I just want to say with the, I know with that motion or the resolution did pass for the $20,000 for the artists that we're going to have for that a community event here. I believe it's in September.
September the 13th.
Right. But my past experience in working with former Councilwoman Murray Walker-Smith and Dwayne Lee, and Anthony Moore, you know, whenever there was an event you know, and you had a major artist come, because we've had Yolanda Adams, and we've had some really top-notch entertainers here, but you have to secure them early in order to have that artist, you know, participate in the event. And Councilman, I just want to say to you, I believe in your ability to be able to raise the additional funds. I know you're good at that, you know, and so and we voted on the money in last year's budget too. We had already approved it. So I just want to say this is not something that we're just, you know, voting on haphazardly. We did approve it in last year's budget.
Thank you.
Hold on, I'll counter that for sure. We did not vote on spending $20,000 on a single artist. What we voted on was creating a special events budget, which contained $60,000, and we were to decide this year how that was going to be spent, to approve, you know, 1/3 of that for somebody who's going to come here for an hour. I don't care if it's Yolanda Adams or whomever. You know, as the councilman expressed the reason for bringing in this particular artist, and let's be clear. I'm twice his age. We're not going to have the same musical taste. It ain't about that. But it's about filling up this avenue of the States with our residents. And his belief is it takes a person of that caliber to fill up the streets. I don't believe that. Put 6 food trucks and a DJ, you'll fill up that street. It's been proven. I like the model that Miss Olivia Smith has with the Juneteenth, where they raise all the money that includes paying for the entertainment that shows up. That's a model that we should be following here as mayor and council.
That statement in terms of we didn't vote on it, we did vote on it, so that is an untrue statement.
No. We did not vote.
We voted for $25,000 for my festival. Yes, we did.
How is it your festival?
We voted for $25,000, and the chief of staff, he can correct me if I'm wrong because he was in there.
No, we
and
voted for a budget item of $60,000 in special accounts. Show me the budget.
And
where it
$25,000
says
specifically for this festival.
It is not
and
a line item.
$25,000 again. $25,000 specifically for this festival, and the chief of staff is right there. He can correct. Am I right? And the contingent of me voting on the budget was that we have $25,000 on this particular festival, and that we restored Ken's salary and left it where it was, and not reduce it to $45,000. And chief of staff, am I right?
We did adopt a special events fund. I think it's $65,000.
No.
Wait, let me. I'll address it.
Cut straight to the chase.
We put a line item in there per our conversation for revenues and expenses. We didn't itemize that, but there was an understanding that there would be $25,000 for an event that Councilman Green wanted to bring to the table.
Exactly. Thank you.
So he chooses to spend $25,000 of those dollars. Of the $25,000 that was in there, $20,000 will go to one person.
Correct.
Who will perform for 1 hour.
And we had other artists here that we paid way more than that. The Riverfront Ramble cost $150,000.
Money was raised, and that was
And money still will be raised.
before.
We
Yes.
will raise money.
I gave you credit for raising the rest of the money for the event. So let's be clear. He may have voted for it. I voted for a special events fund of $60,000. Please. Please understand what I'm saying.
You know exactly what you voted for. You ain't even asked for a motion to adjourn.
I don't need one.
Yeah, I bet you don't. Yeah.
Hey, how are you today?
Tax dollars.